Hey guys, and welcome back to a brand new video and yet another episode of my F1 2018 career mode. And today we are here for round number 4 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix at Baku. The newly placed Azerbaijan Grand Prix moved earlier on to the season and changed from its usual mid-season point in the F1 2017 season. But if you guys did miss the video uploaded earlier on today, which was round 3 for the Chinese Grand Prix, a massive breakthrough for us guys in this career mode so far, then do check it out by clicking the card in the top right hand corner of your screen. Also following the link down below in the description. But it was a massive step up for us guys and a big change in this career mode. Also, if you have missed episodes 1 and 2 and us finding our feet in this career mode, then also do check out those videos with the full playlist link down below in the description. But going into this race guys, I had mixed feelings because, you know, the last race in China, spoiler alert, we had a really good race. I'm not going to give the result away if you are still listening, but it was a very good race. We scored our first points, and it ultimately felt good to have a car underneath me finally that I felt like I could attack people with, and I wasn't always on the defensive, so to speak. So that was a massive change for us, and a very welcome change, and something that I was very happy about. However, this is a power circuit, and we have to be honest here. With the Honda power unit in the back of this Toro Rosso, the odds don't look great. You never know, I could be proved wrong, but on paper this track shouldn't suit our car, so let's see what happens. As you can see on screen, I just thought I'd show you guys in the meantime how the R&D is looking so far. After just 3 races, going to race 4, there's already loads of switches in the team order, and the graph is already starting to go a little bit mental. But going to Friday practice, we got underway with the practice programs, and to be fair, we struggled. I can't lie. It was similar to Bahrain. We struggled. I managed to do the track acclimatization, and then most of the others are failed. The only one that I did do, which surprised me, was the race strategy, because on my first attempt, as you can see on screen right now, I actually failed my first lap, but I just kept my head down, kept on going, and to my surprise, I actually managed to pass. The next 3 laps were just good. I kept on pumping in solid lap times. The car felt great, and we managed to actually complete the race strategy with a purple score. So a bit of a silver lining there to a pretty grim practice session, so to speak, and no complaints, as we still, you know, this is all R&D points, it all counts, so any points I can get is always welcome for the upgrades. And overall, that'll be the end of our session. As you can see on the screen right now, the full sort of the practice program results, so to speak. I had a little crash, so I was actually getting some damage repaired, but you can see on screen some of them we didn't even bother with because I just knew I just wasn't going to have the pace, and the time management sort of told me that we stood no chance in fuel management, because that is all engine power related, whether it's ERS management, fuel management, it's all to do with engine power, and we ain't got that at the minute, especially with the qualifying performance test as well. So just completely didn't bother wasting my time, because that's something, you know, if you want to not get burnt out in this game and not get bored or feel like it's a chore, just don't bother doing it, because you're just sort of forcing yourself to, you know, really not enjoy the game, and that's not exactly what you want to do. So like I said, I just completely didn't bother, and I just put my eyes straight into qualifying and hoping we can have a good race weekend and a good result. Now, realistically speaking, this is a bit of a double-edged sword, because I do think we can do well here. However, qualifying is going to be a struggle. When the engines turn up to full power, can we really keep up with these guys? You know, we struggled in Australia. We struggled especially in Bahrain, which is a power circuit. So I'm a little bit concerned again that we might have some struggles. But let's see. You never know. If we get out of Q1 for the second race running, that would be incredible. So straight away in Q1, we went out on the super softs, actually. Not the fastest tyre, the middle intermediate tyre. And just to get a bank lap in, eventually we would go out for our final Banzai attempt on the ultra softs, and just basically absolutely go for it and see what we could do. And straight away, turn 1 was pretty good. Turn 2 as well, nice and tidy on the apex there, nice and clean on the traction. And we're going to really go much faster than Delta, as that lap time was on super softs, as you'd expect. So far, 2 corners down, and it's looking good so far. Now into turn number 3, going down a couple of gears, picking up the apex once again, 3rd gear, as close to the wall as you there on the exit. And then slowing it once again for another 90-degree right-hander this time for turn number 4. And then on the power for a short squirt as we go into the chicane. 5 and 6, left-right combination here, getting very close to that inside wall, avoiding the curb on the inside if you can possibly, because that does unsettle the balance of the car. And then we brake hard for this, another right-hander of about 100 degrees, a little bit more than 90 this one, a little bit of a hairpin sort of, as we now get on the power yet again for a short squirt, as we now shoot up the castle section, getting a very nice smooth run through there, nice and clean on traction as well, and as efficient as possible, and a very nice lap so far, no mistakes. nice, clean and tidy and slick, which is the main thing you're looking for around this circuit, to be efficient and, you know, the least amount of corrections possible. As we now go over the left-hand kink where Vettel infamously had contact with Hamilton in last year's race, and now into the last major break zone of this lap. I actually taken an early apex and I really attacked the corner, and it actually worked out for me quite nicely, and we're now pretty much flat out to the line, and this is when it's all down to, like I mentioned, pure engine power. Right now we're P20. Obviously our first lap was on super soft, so that lap was not really competitive enough, but we are up by over a second here by quite a bit. Hopefully this can maybe give us a decent lap time, and it's going to be our last attempt of the session. So let's see, across the line, and we go P16. Not bad at all, actually, and overall I was quite happy with it. However, we would end up the session in P19. I went out one more time, but I made a mistake, and ultimately the lap didn't work for me. So P19, it got me thinking, you know what, it is Baku. We might as well just take an engine penalty, because it, you know, we're starting from the back last row anyway. So we're just going to take an engine penalty and use the opportunity to really basically get back on side and have an extra engine so we can take less penalties later on in the season. Now, I made one mistake, and I know you guys are going to hate me in the comments for it, but the one mistake I made, I didn't take a gearbox. So at some point, whatever race it may be, we're probably going to suffer with the gearbox issues, but that's my mistake, rookie error, something that I used to do in F1 2017, and I'm still doing it now in F1 2018. But anyway, enough rambling. We're now on Sunday for the race. A very interesting one, this, because obviously starting from the back, we've got absolutely nothing to lose, and the question is, what can we do around this Azerbaijan circuit with a brand new fresh power unit in the back of my Toro Rosso and a free choice of tyre. Basically, it's all to play for. Fingers crossed we can have a good race. That's what I'm hoping for, and have a little bit of fun, and who knows, if we could score some points, that would be an absolutely phenomenal result around a track where we shouldn't really be getting those results. But anyway, enough rambling, it's time for the race and the Baku Grand Prix. Right then, so here we are on the grid for round number 4 for Baku. Admittedly, second time I've tried to record this race. I was 20 laps in on my first attempt and my game crashed, so I was doing really well, but I'm going to have to do it again. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it works for us. I'm going to do the exact same thing I was doing in the foul take. Fingers crossed it all goes well. In terms of the strategy today, we are going to start on the super soft compound tyres and switch over to the softs, running a one-stop strategy. Also, fuel-wise, I'm going to go really heavy. Reason being is because based off of practice and qualifying, we are slow in the straights. I mean, really slow. And I've realised rich mix is very important around here. So I've gone extremely heavy, nearly 4.5 laps extra fuel. So basically, I can run rich the entire race pretty much. It's a brand new power unit. I'm going to put it under a lot of stress. But you know what? We have to compete in the straights here. And the only way I'm going to do that is with rich mix enabled. So let's see what happens. It's going to be an interesting race. I fancy my chances from P20. One-stop strategies always tend to go well for me, so hopefully we can have a good race. And fingers crossed we can score a couple of points. That would be absolutely insane. If not, then I'll take beating Pierre Gasly. But anyway, without further ado, let's jump into it. Round number 4 for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Let's get it. Right then, here we go. Let's get ready for the 5 red lights here at Baku. Lights out and away we go. Not the best start, quite a bit of wheel spin, and not the best overall getaway. However, up the inside of turn 1, aggressive, really diving the car in there. We get past multiple cars, including my teammate Pierre Gasly, which is the sort of thing you want to see. Into turn 2, aggressive yet again. Side by side with Stoffel Van Dorn here. We're going to crank up the ERS to hot lap mode. Really try and maximise the straight line speed on the back straight here. Got to be careful into this brake zone, very careful. That is as close as it can get to losing your front wing. Up the inside of Charles Leclerc as well. I'm going to try and squeeze him out. There we go. Right, that's a fantastic start. P14. Just about keeping it out of the barriers and keeping my nose clean. There was some very close moments, but we made it work. Look how much extra fuel we have. We have 430 pretty much in terms of extra fuel, so we can really use that. That's going to stay in rich mix for the entire race pretty much. So hopefully that pays dividends for us, because I've really noticed a difference in practice and qualifying when I had rich mix and the max fuel mode available to me. It really gave me a lot of extra speed, so I'm hoping that works out for me in the race today. And that also means we can use a little bit less battery power in the ERS, and we can sort of stick in medium a lot more, which is also a positive. But here comes Leclerc. He's looking at my inside. I had to go defensive a bit there, which made me go a little bit deep into the apex. Need to recompose myself and try and get close to Alonso here. Straighten up the car, a little bit of hot lap, just pull me away from Leclerc. That's sad, but no slouch in a straight line. We are pretty damn slow in a straight, you'll see, because we're running rich mix and you can see the AI pulling away. We're going to have to crank it up to hot lap again here to really try and pull away. But look at Leclerc go in the Sauber. We are giving it full beans here on the straight. Only now Leclerc is starting to not catch me up, and he's actually dropping back a bit. These guys are going pretty slow at the moment. I'm not sure what's going on, but there's a couple of trains of cars. This one's being led by a Renault, it seems, by Nico Hulkenberg. But it's allowed us back into the train as they've gone a bit slow this lap, so we can reconnect with these guys hopefully and actually stay connected to this train. Alonso, I can see him edging away. We're going to have to use hot lap again here. I don't want to use hot lap because I'm gonna need it when I really do need it to attack and defend. But you can see we're in the straight line, we're just struggling so much. Hulkenberg comes in, so I'm guessing he must have sustained some front wing damage or something. Either way, P12, we're making progress, and we are on a one-stopper here, so this is looking very good so far. Of course, we've still got, remember, keeping in the tyres in is going to be critical. But the good news is we've got DRS and Alonso, which should buy me enough speed to stay ahead of Charles Leclerc, who is extremely quick on the straights in that Sauber car. This is a massive train of cars. We've got Mercedes in the pit lane already, I can see. And we've got a slow-moving car here. But we're holding on. P10 now into the points. This is good news so far. Hamilton's behind us. Oh, I'm a little bit wide into there. Got to be careful. But Lewis is behind us. I'm not sure how that's happened. He must have just come into the pit lane for some fresh tyres, and he's come out just ahead of Charles Leclerc and behind myself. But right now we're in the points, so good progress so far. Lewis right behind me here, putting the pressure on already in that Mercedes. He's going to get past me fairly swiftly here. I'm running hot lap to try and give myself half a chance. He goes to the outside, which is quite a interesting place to try and go for the pass, and even with DRS he cannot overtake me. Okay then, this is going to be interesting. Okay, now he's starting to edge in front. That's more what I expected. Turn one time. I gave him the slightest love tap, but we are going to cut back underneath. Got Kimi here leaving the pit lane, and Kimi can give me a massive high five and a thank you after holding up Lewis for him. We've got Bottas as well behind for company here, so this ain't over just yet. On the inside of Lewis again, side by side here, a good little battle. Lewis just edges in front. I'm going to let him go because I'm just wasting time battling with him. It's a good little battle while it lasted, but we have to be realistic here. And Bottas is now behind me. Here comes Valtteri. I'm going to let him have the inside line. It's pointless battling. Oh wait, Bottas has messed it up anyway, so I'll take it. Slow moving car here. Kevin Magnussen still on a puncture. We have to get past him. And we are in P8 at the moment. We're looking good so far. We're going to survive. Stroll's the next car behind me. Thanks to Bottas' mistake, he's going to have to get back past a couple of cars now. And I think he might have even cost himself a bit of front wing. I'm not sure. It looked like he went straight into the wall. So for now, it looks like we've got some peace and quiet. And we've got no one around us. So I can actually get my head down and really focus enough to keep battling people here. Okay, so far I am much happier in clean air. We are running very well here by ourselves. On for a personal best. And Kimi Raikkonen's coming in. That's, I think, his first stop of the Grand Prix. Also, full senior in there as well. Within a tenth of a personal best in clean air. That's pretty nice. So, good pace. P6 at the moment. We're looking good so far. Also, we've got Pierre Gasly squabbling it out behind. So, he's having a good drive as well. We're both in the points. If we're both on one stoppers, then that's going to be good for us. You can see in the first sector, I'm nearly half second up on my personal best. But then we lose the rest over the rest of the lap because of the slipstream effect. But my actual raw pace is very good in clean air. Okay, tyre is not too bad. The fronts are absolutely fine. It's the rear tyres that are going off here. So we're not looking too bad at the moment, all things considered. We're going to come in around lap 11 or lap 12. So this is looking pretty good so far to say we're on the one stopper. More cars in the pit lane here. Fernando Alonso and also Sebastian Vettel. We set a personal best, so up in the P4 now. This is looking very, very impressive so far. Every lap that goes by, I'm liking this more and more as we drift into that corner a bit. We've got the pace to stay ahead of the guys behind at the moment as well. They're constantly sort of relaying each other in a slipstream, but I'm able to stay ahead, so it's looking impressive. Oh, and Sergio Perez out of the Grand Prix here at Baku, first retirement. Little graze of the wall there. But that's someone that we definitely would have had to have overtaken on track, so that's going to be a position for me come the end of the race. Gasly is just starting to close up the gap now, and he's dragging the McLaren along with him. I'm not sure which one it is, but the main thing is someone like Stroll isn't following, so they won't be that annoying in terms of straight line speed, unlike the Williams. There's Stoffel Van Dorn in the McLaren, and he's just got past Pierre, so we could be under threat. Hopefully he doesn't attack us and we can hold on before we come in at the end of the next lap. Still pushing here, 2 tenths up my personal best in sector 2. Every lap's very consistent from me. I'm pushing it to the limit. I've got nothing more to give. Every lap is matching my personal best, if not slightly improving every lap, and that's just keeping me ahead of Gasly's DRS. But we are really on the limit here. Like, one mistake can easily put me in the wall. And another personal best you can see there. In lap time, as the guy said on the radio, best in lap I can possibly deliver. I'll try my best, Jeff. Right then, we've had a mammoth first stint. We're P4 somehow, but we are on the 1 stop, which is good news. Tyre wear wise, you can see 56 in the right rear, and those tyres could start to overheat any second. So we're going to come in here for my first stop of the race. Let's really be aggressive here and push this pit entry if we can. There we go, solid entry. That was absolutely perfect. And no one else is coming in with me except for a McLaren. And then we've got a Mercedes, it seems, or maybe it might be Lance Stroll, I'm not sure. Either way, I just hope we don't get held up here. 2.6, beautiful stop from the boys. And here's a Mercedes that's come in, so we don't get held up, which is critical.
Up to speed now. Let's get some
Up to speed, nice bit of clean air as well, which is exactly what I wanted. Right then, fresh soft tyres. We're in P6, and we've already done our pit stop. This is looking phenomenal so far. Lance Stroll's behind me. Hopefully they start batting behind. You can see that massive train of cars. This is looking very good so far. I'm very, very happy with how this is going, considering the power deficit. The 1 stopper has paid dividends so far. Cold tyres there, not giving me the grip that I wanted, but let's keep this gap. If I fall into DRS from Stroll, we're going to be in trouble. So I need to get my head down and not let Stroll close that gap. Right then, Pierre Gasly comes into the pit lane, my teammate. I wonder if anyone else came in with him. We'll have to wait and see. But I'm guessing Gasly's going to do the same strategy, go into the soft compound tyres. It is just Pierre in the pit lane, so we are going to regain hopefully that 5th place. Let's have a look. It's going to be close. Pierre's leaving the pit lane now. It's going to be neck and neck actually. And there is Pierre. Oh, pulls right in front of me on the exit. It's a bit ruthless from my teammate, and now we've got Ocon behind me, and I think he's got DRS. But we have got DRS on our teammate Pierre Gasly, but he's pulled off a wonderful overcut. He's really done me there. Let's try and follow Pierre. Let's see if I can stick with him and stay in DRS, and we can try and pull away from the battles that are going on behind us. That would be ideal. Right then, Ricciardo's made the move on Stroll, so he's now going to be the next man to pass. He is on super soft, so he's probably going to be quite quick on that fresh rubber, especially considering he's driving a Red Bull. But I'm guessing he's going to have to stop again, so I'm not going to put up with too much of a fight. Pierre, in the meantime, has got some incredible pace. I can't touch my teammate, he's too quick. Right, personal best. That's a pretty good lap actually. Get my head down. Really trying to pick up the pace here big time. I've got to concentrate so much though to not make any mistakes. It's it's such fine margins. If I talk or make one mistake, I lose so much time. I have to be so precise. Also, the car is starting to get a little bit lighter now because of the fuel. We've only got plus 0.5 or yeah 0.50 left, so the fuel is definitely coming down, and that's making the car a little bit quicker, a little bit more nimble and a little bit more lighter for the corners. Right, Ricciardo's now in my DRS. The good news is he hasn't dragged Stroll with him, so Stroll doesn't have DRS. I've used a little bit of hot lap so Ricciardo doesn't disrupt my rhythm, but he's going to start putting the pressure on very soon here. We had Van Dorn in the pit lane, and he's now behind us, as Ricciardo has come in it seems, so we're going to be left alone for a little bit longer here, which is good news. So let's make this pace count. We're still in P6, just over 10 laps to go. We can make this happen, we can make it work, come on. I'm about to run out of rich mix here, so I'm probably going to keep it in rich for one more lap, but we have to be realistic. Once we run out of rich mix, the pace is going to drop. Hopefully though I can stay in control and still try and set some pretty decent lap times, because if I can do some good laps in standard then I'll be okay, but I'm definitely going to lose a couple of tenths per lap, which is not ideal. Gap staying put at 2.8 seconds. That lap was in standard mix. I'm only using rich on the main straight pretty much. Even then I'm not going to be able to use it because I'm using more on the straight than I am saving a standard over the rest of the lap. So we just got to keep our head down. You know, each lap keeps ticking by and we're still holding on here. I'm sorry it's not the most entertaining race, but trust me when I say I'm working extremely hard for this. I'm sweating so much. I've not sweat this much for a race in a long time. Although having said that, every race this season I've had to really work for it. The last two especially, this one and China, I've had to work especially hard. Look at that, personal best in just standard mix. I'm trying hard here. The gap is still at 3 seconds to Stroll. We're doing this. Tyre looks good. Rear is a little bit more worn, as more than the front, as you'd expect. But to be fair, not too bad at all. I think we should be okay for tyres to turn in the Grand Prix. Gap still 3 seconds, or give or take, to Van Dorn. So those two are still battling, changing positions all the time. So this is really suiting me right now. Stroll and Van Dorn have just crept beneath that 3 second barrier now. 2.7 to 2.8. They're just starting to catch up a little bit, but still we've got a healthy gap. We're doing okay so far. Just got to keep it going for a few more laps. We're getting there, baby. It's not the most exciting race, but trust me, I'm absolutely soaking wet. I'm sweating hard at the moment. Ooh, late surge. Ricardo on super softs is up into P7. He could maybe spoil the party for me. Just got to keep on putting in them lap times. Keep our head down. We'll battle Ricardo if we need to. 3 laps to go now as we cross the line. Okay, they're still battling, which is good news. The constant slipstream seems to have not allowed Ricardo to pull away, and Van Dorn and Stroll are still causing problems, and they're constantly just relaying each other and changing positions. So the gap now up to 3.8, and it's looking good so far. I think we've now got this under control, and I think I might be able to finally take my foot off the pedal a bit and relax. Right then, here we go. 3.1 to Stroll. We've got this under control. Last lap of the Grand Prix. I'm going to go down to low and try and save some ERS, but let's bring this one home. It looks like the unlikely hero here, and the man that's broken away is Esteban Ocon behind me. We're now going for the final main break point of the circuit. We've got 2 seconds gap, running it in the low ERS to try and save a little bit of engine if we can, as this is a new power unit. We've really put the power unit through some effort today. Tyres, as you can see, right rear on 60%. Pretty damn knackered. And you can see the engine as well, 8% already out of the MGUH. But we are going to come home, and we're going to bring it home in P6. Yet again in the points. What a result from the back of the grid.
Thank you for all your hard work out there. That was a strong drive and a good finish. Well done.
Right then, looking at the final race results, Hamilton wins the Azerbaijan Grand Prix ahead of Sebastian Vettel, and Carlos Sainz, the unlikely hero, getting 3rd place on the podium ahead of Romain Grosjean, and then Pierre Gasly P5 and myself P6. All of us on the one stop. Sainz, Grosjean, Gasly, myself are one stoppers there. Ocon, 2-stopper. He was 3rd place worthy on a 2-stopper. Fair play, really good pace in the Force India. And he beats Daniel Ricciardo with Lance Stroll and Stoffel Van Dorn bringing home the final points, with Williams and McLaren scoring a couple of points there. And then we have Verstappen missing out on points, Bottas missing out on points, Raikkonen missing out on points, Hulkenberg and also Sergio Perez retiring from the Grand Prix. In terms of the driver standings though, as you can see, we dropped down to P13. Even though we actually scored some decent points this race, we dropped down because Sainz, with that podium, has overtaken me quite convincingly. And also Grosjean as well, with that podium, with that 4th place, also gaining a lot of points. And he's jumped himself up into P7. But we're still P13, 14 points on the board. And it's all to play for, which is looking very good. In terms of the constructors though, we are P6. We overtake Force India by quite a few points. So that's very positive for us. And we are only 5 points behind Renault and 7 points behind Haas, who are currently best of the rest. So a very positive race. Not the most entertaining. I work so hard. I'm currently in a lot of pain and I'm currently sweating quite a lot. But it was totally worth it, especially because we had to do the entire race again as my game crashed earlier on. So overall, it was totally worth it. We bring home what I would consider a W, a P6, and now we're going to move into the upgrades.
Amazing performance out there. You must be really happy.
It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it? You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy? That was a close finish. How are things between the two of you? You left a lot of paint on the walls today. Were you struggling for grip, or did you just misjudge some corners? Great, well that's everything.
Right then, so we are currently in a contract negotiation period. This is something new and something I've not really experienced before. I've got something in mind, so this is what I've gone for. So expected qualified position P15, so that means Q2. Race position, I've done 11, which is the best I can do. I'm happy to sit with second driver for now because I don't want to push my luck too much with the contract. Team goals, I've put them on easy. Essentially, these are the little challenges that get proposed over the weekend. I want them to be easy. I don't really want to focus on those too much. And then in terms of the contract perks, I've gone for basically, besides this one here, which is the race bonus for 50%, I've gone for the first level on all of the others. You can see my value in the bottom right and the proposed contract value, so that should be okay, hopefully. But I've noticed the slider's a bit glitched because no matter what I change, the slider doesn't change. So we'll go for that now, and then in the next contract window we can maybe try and push for something better. But I think we're going to go for this now.
Our proposal has been accepted. The new contract will take effect from the next race weekend.
Right then, so it was a success, it all went well, and we've now got an improved contract. So, from now on, we're going to get a 50% bonus from races, which we already had, but we're going to get upgrade time reduced by 1 week, pit stop efficiency 10% quicker, so all the stops will be a little bit quicker, and also we can actually upgrade 2 parts per section now. So that's going to be a massive step forward for us, and a massive, massive help. We've got 1,300 points to spend, so let's spend them, I'd say. We can't do nothing on the engine side of things, which is disappointing. And we can't do nothing on the aero either, or can we? Yes, we can. We can do something on the aero, but the capacity of the department has been reached, so maybe we can go for the chassis instead. A major upgrade in the chassis. We've spoken quite highly of the chassis part of things, and now they seem to be quite happy to provide for us. In terms of the durability, you can see we have some other upgrades here. I am tempted to do one, but I'm going to wait until after Monaco for those, because we've got 2 engines we've been using, so I can definitely put up with that. So we'll go for another one here, and we'll get that on the car. 438 points left, and we will spend those in the next episode. But a very successful one here, guys. You can see in the bottom right, we've got a lot of upgrades coming, and if those start coming onto the car, we should be taking a big leap ahead of Force India. And we're slowly but surely progressing here through the R&D chart. And if you guys have enjoyed this episode of my F1 2018 career mode, then drop a like on the video. Do get subscribed for daily Formula 1 content, guys. Turn notifications to not miss a single upload from me. And also, finally, check out these 2 videos on screen if you have missed them. But other than that, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in my next episode very soon. Goodbye.